Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. It's always sad when a regular customer turns out to be a Karen and wants to return a purchase. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. I'll spend my money elsewhere. I work in a discount home goods retailer, and our typical crowd of people will typically be women looking for great deals on puzzles, home decor, and tons of craft items. Occasionally, we'll have the more difficult customers, and I honestly pay them no mind and just do my job. When the first customer gets to my register, I give my usual greetings and rewards card spiels, and I move on. My line starts to grow, and we're only allowed to have one register open at all times, so I try my best to serve everyone properly and efficiently. I thought everyone was doing well. However, when I got to Karen, that changed. She had a pot in her hand and a receipt, and she was asking for a return on it. No problem. Our company has a pretty straightforward return policy. 30 days, no damage. Please have the barcode that came with it. So I take it from her and scan the receipt, start inspecting the pot, and ask if there was anything wrong with it. She says, no, it's just the wrong size. I say, no problem. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing the barcode. Do you happen to have it with you at all? Karen, no, it came with a sticker and black zip tie that was connected to nothing, so I threw them both away. You can't take it anyways? Unfortunately, I'm not able to accept returns without the barcode. I just need to be able to verify that this item had come from our store. Well, look at the receipt. I'm sure you can find it there. The brand's Oneida. It's $3.99. I literally bought it here yesterday. I see Farberware, but that's a skillet and this is a pot. Fine. Can I at least get store credit? I'll be happy to help you out as soon as I can verify this is from our store. Can I speak to your manager? I'm the MOD. Yeah, that's me actually. Check the receipt. This is a 2-quart pot. I'm sure it's there. All that's on this receipt is a skillet and a 3-quart pot. So even more so, I'll not be able to help you. If you can find that barcode or the exact item on the shelf to help me verify the item, I can do the return or exchange. F this. I don't care. I'll no longer be shopping here. I'll spend my money elsewhere. Well, all right. Thank you for your business. In the moment, she kept berating me, but I didn't care to break protocol because last time I did with a raging Karen, my job was threatened, so whatever. I usually will accept returns without the barcode, but I genuinely could not remember seeing the item before, and the fact that the item was a 2-quart pot, but the receipt said 3-quart? I don't know. There was another customer after her, and all she said was, "Bye, Karen." So I guess that's that. Why do they think we personally care where they spend their money? Like, okay, go do that then. And our second story. Oh, but that's not a parking spot. I think this is the most petty I've ever been. And no need to ask if I was the a-hole, because I totally was, but it tickled me and a few others. This happened a few weeks back and still makes my friend and I have a laugh about it. I do deliveries around our town, and as such, I need gas to do so. There's one gas station I hit up every morning before work because the gas is the cheapest. It's on my route to work, and it has a better selection of breakfast snacks and drinks than the others around it. Since I've been stopping off there a minimum of 3 times a week for the last 6 years, I've gotten to know the owner and a few of the longtime staff there. They're all good people and treat me nicer than normal employees do, so I try to treat them with as much respect as I possibly can. One morning while I'm filling up, one of the female employees, we'll call her Rachel for this story, was standing idly by one of the pumps. She has a few mental problems, but is one of the nicest people I know, so while my gas is being filled, I strike up a conversation. She tells me she ain't doing so hot because she's supposed to take out the trash from the outside bins and put it in the dumpster around the side of the building. The way the building's designed, there's only one way to get to the dumpster to put anything in it, and that way is clearly marked with signs and paint saying, "Do not park here or block the dumpster." I look over and there's a caravan of about 5 minivans parked around the area. Most were in legit parking spaces, but the biggest one with a massive roof rack was parked awkwardly in front of the dumpster, completely blocking it off. I asked Rachel if she had asked them to move, and she said they'd move when they were done, and that was over 30 minutes ago. I feel for Rachel and her sad face. At that time, I tell her I'll make it up to her. After getting the nozzle put back up and my car ready, I drove over to where the van was parked and parked my car in the first opening spot behind it, effectively completely blocking it in. I get out of my car and walk about 5 steps away when a screeching Karen pokes her head out of the front window of the van. "Hey, Hey, move your car. I'm parked here. Oh, but that's not a parking spot. Well, yeah, that's why I'm trying to get out of it. Okay, well, hold on. I'll be just a minute. I proceed to walk inside the store to get my morning meal as I hear Karen screaming for me to come back. As the doors shut in the store, I notice the place is overrun with families buying travel snacks. They're all milling about, but a few are looking out the window saying, I wonder what Karen's yelling about. They're clearly all in her caravan. By the time I grab my food and drink and make it to the checkout line, she's stormed her way in and is trying to tell me to move my car now. I tell her, I can't leave, that'd be stealing. So I'm going to buy my stuff and leave. She huffs at this and notices everyone in front of her is a member of her traveling party, so she just glares at me the whole time. I finally make it up to the front after like 10 minutes and go, oh wait, shoot, this isn't what I wanted. I'll go put it back and grab what I really want. Luckily, I was still very early for getting to work, so I was milking it for all it's worth. Karen's fuming. When I make it back to the line, someone else is getting in line in front of me, and Karen's trying to tell him to move so I can go first. The owner, we'll call Jess, tells her she isn't allowed to talk to customers that way, and one more outburst from her, and she'll kick her out of the store. Karen mutters to herself but is silent. I go up to check out, moving and talking as slow as I can, and ask for a lottery ticket as well. After paying, since no one's behind me, I scratch it off. What do you know? I want a free ticket. So I buy another one and proceed to scratch it off. Karen at that point had been mildly tolerable, but then she let out this unholy screech and told me to stop wasting her time, to which Jess told her to leave. Karen started to refuse, and Jess picked up her phone, threatening to call the cops. Karen's then swift to leave at this point, now yelling at her caravan as to why they have to wait. I thank Jess for all that she's done so far and explain what was going on, still really slowly. She laughs and tells me how much she hates people who park there. They get all defensive when you tell them they can't park there, but this is the first time anyone got their comeuppance over it. I left and saw Rachel standing near my vehicle doing her best not to laugh. I load up my car and ask if everything is better, and she nods enthusiastically. I move my car to the side of the lot and watch them all leave one by one, but not before Karen pulled out in front of someone and almost wrecked. The only way this could be better is if she was somehow towed as well. And our next story. My private lake. English is not my first language, sorry. At one time I worked on a private artificial lake. This lake used to be a white quarry that had been flooded and was now used to test sports boats. That's where me and fat bastard guard Joe worked. By the way, Joe's the laziest man I've ever seen in my life. He was either the nephew or distant cousin idiot of the lake owner. There was a smaller flooded quarry nearby that another owner owned, raised fish there, and sold tickets to fishermen who came there to relax and fish. It's information that'll be needed later. I didn't really get along with Joe, and it was my job to watch the algae level to keep the shore from overgrowing and the main pier from falling apart. It was a part-time job, you might say. And Joe was guarding the area, apparently, so they don't steal our marina and don't drink all the water from the lake. So let's move on to K-Day. I don't remember why I call it that. But that was the day when I met the dumbest, most insolent Karen in my entire life. I was strolling along the shore of the lake, waiting for the new boat trials to begin, when I saw a boat with two fishermen in one of the backwaters. It was a fat blonde in her 40s with a short haircut and bleached hair, and a small, thin man of about the same age. On his face, he looked like a dried-up, lifeless lemon in the sun. And somehow I'm guessing whose blonde hands dried him so dry. The two of them were sitting on a little yellow plastic boat. I decided to call out to them. Hey, you can't fish here. Karen, in a nasty voice, we came by the flyer. F off. Lady, you got the wrong lake. The one next over is half a mile away. You can even see it if you go up the hill. We were there. The owner wants us to pay for a ticket. I told him F off and came here. It's private property and no one else is allowed to be here. I paid for the license and I'll fish for every bucks. Listen here, lady. Karen nailing it. Get off this boat. You're throwing off my concentration. Okay. I decided to get Joe on the radio. Oh, hey Joe, there's some people here. Tell them to stop the boat test run for a few minutes and get over there and chase them away. Just tell them to go away. I'm busy. They don't listen. Once a day, I have to drop the deuce, and you're not giving me a break here either. I'll be in touch with you when I take a crap. Joe, we have to stop the test. all I got was silence. Fat bastard turned off the radio. Okay, I can't make it in time to stop the boat launch anyway, and the Karen boat can't be seen from the pier. Hell, I don't get paid enough for that. I decided to see what would happen. After a minute, the boat launched in a straight line. Big wave came up and capsized the little boat with Karen. They were lucky they were wearing vests. The funny thing is, there aren't even any fish in the lake. And our next story. Stepmom demands forgiveness to my aunt and a place in my grandparents' will. I hope you enjoyed this story more than I did. Cast. EB equals entitled, you get it. A equals aunt, GP equals grandpa, me equals burrito. A little backstory. My mom passed away from cancer when I was 1 year old, and I have flashes of memory living with my dad in military base, he's a chopper pilot, and a flash forward 3 years or so to suddenly living in a cramped apartment with his new wife and 3 male kids roughly the same age. My memory of that time is filled with hiding, blood, hiding, and my father lying in his bed not caring. Her sons would start a fight, blame it on me, and she'd get her belt and smack me while I saw my dad doing nothing. My dad got tired of it and left me with his parents when I was 6. Aunt is my dad's sister. I went to therapy 7 years later, and family learned a bit of what happened. Now the good part. Skip ahead from 6 years old to 20 years old after my grandma passed away. She spoiled the hell out of me while I lived with her, but taught me to be a gentleman and probably too much. Alas, I couldn't accept that my grandma got taken away by cancer, and my dad was there as well, but we didn't talk. A few days later, this was around Christmas to top it off, my stepmother calls. I was sitting with my aunt so I could hear the conversation. EB, hey aunt, how are you? I was wondering if we could talk about everything that's happened. Yes, she didn't wait for a hey back. Aunt, sure, what do you want to talk about? Rolling eyes, remember, it's been a few days after my aunt's mom passed away. EB, yeah, I think we got off on the wrong foot with OP and would like for us to start over, a clean slate. Aunt, after everything you did? What? You don't say sorry to OP, nor my mother that just passed? Are you insane? EB, if we can just look over everything and start over, it'd be great for the family, and your brother wants that too. He never apologized to me about what happened. Aunt, if he's such a man protecting his country, why can't he man up and take responsibility for marrying such a scumbag? EB, I thought of doing it the nice way, but I guess you don't care about this family. We should be forgiven after all this time. OP's living with you and having a good life. Get over it. I left at this point of the conversation. My aunt hangs up and we calm down. Seems she called my grandpa directly to tell her what my aunt did, and we hear my grandpa shouting. He never cared about his son leaving me, so we were surprised. Turns out she asked him what was in the will of my grandma that was left to her and my dad, and that my dad wanted to know as well, perhaps one of the small apartments they invested in or silverware. My grandpa lost it. GP shouting, I thought he was going to die right there. As long as I breathe, you will never have anything of mine, you ungrateful sack of crap, and even afterwards you'll get nothing. As far as I know, he'll get very little as he's not been there for the family in almost 30 years. Grandpa couldn't speak for days, and luckily and unluckily, Christmas was around the corner and he could get drunk around his friends. I'm glad you had family who did care about you and took you in. What a crapstorm of a life for a young kid. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.